All the body organs which help the animal in excretion collectively constitute the excretory system. The excretory system of man consists of a pair of kidneys, a pair of ureters, a urinary bladder, urethra. The kidneys of man are reddish-brown, bean-shaped, slightly flattened organs present on the either side of the vertebral column. Right kidney is about 1 to 1.5 cm lower than left kidney because it is pushed downward by large right liver lobe. Each kidney is about 10 cm long, 6 cm wide, and 3.5 cm thick. It is a bean-shaped structure. Outer margin is convex and inner margin concave. In the middle of inner concavity, a notch called hilus or hilum is present. Hilus leads to a space called renal sinus. The renal artery, renal vein, nerve fiber, lymph vessels, and ureters enter or leave the kidney through hilus. The kidney is bounded externally by a thin sheet of white fibrous tissue called capsule. In longitudinal section, the kidney is differentiated into two regions. The outer darker region is called cortex, whereas the inner light region is called medulla. The cortex is dotted in appearance. The nephrons are highly coiled in this region, whereas the medulla is striated in appearance. The nephrons run almost straight in this region. Region between the cortex and medulla is called juxtamedullary region. In each kidney, about 1.25 million highly coiled tubules called uriniferous tubules or nephrons are present. Each uriniferous tubule, that is nephron, is blind at one end and opened at the other end, where it opens into a collecting tubule. Blood vessels of kidney. The kidneys are highly vascular organs. Every minute, about 1200 milliliter blood flows through them. A large branch of abdominal aorta called renal artery supplies blood to each kidney. In the kidney, the renal artery divides repeatedly so as to form thin vessels called afferent arterioles. Afferent arterioles in the Bowman's capsule forms a knot-like network of capillaries or glomerulus. These capillaries again unite so as to form afferent arteriole. Afferent arteriole again forms a network of capillaries around renal tubule. It is called peritubular network. The capillaries of this system again unite to form a renal venules. The renal venules unite so as to form a large renal vein. The renal vein returns blood to the inferior vena cava. Ureters. The ureters are a pair of long, narrow and whitish tubes. Each ureter is about 10 to 12 inches in length and less than half an inch in diameter at the widest point. They extend from the kidneys to the posterior surface of urinary bladder. The upper end of each ureter enters the kidney of its side. In the kidney, it expands forming a funnel-shaped basin called renal pelvis. It divides into 2 to 3 branches called calyces. The ureters enter the bladder through oblique tunnels that function as valves. It prevents the backflow of urine into the ureters during bladder contraction. Ureters carry urine from the kidneys to urinary bladder. Urinary bladder. It is a median, pear-shaped, highly distensible sac-like reservoir present in the pelvic region. In the urinary bladder are present 3 openings, 2 of ureters and 1 of urethra. The opening of bladder into the urethra is guided by sphincter muscle. It remains closed except when the urine is to be passed out. The urinary bladder serves as reservoir for urine before it leaves the body. It can hold about 0.5 to 1 liter of urine. It also expels urine from the body. Conduction of urine. Conduction of urine. The urine is formed continuously in the uriniferous tubules. It passes into the ureters through pelvis. The urine moves down the ureters due to the peristaltic waves in its walls. At the other end, the ureters open into the urinary bladder through oblique tunnels. When the urinary bladder is slightly more than half filled, the free nerve endings in the walls of the bladder get stimulated. It induces an urge to pass out urine. The sphincter muscle at the neck of the bladder relaxes. A wave of contraction passes into bladder. It helps in draining the urine out through urethra. Due to the oblique passage, the ureters get closed and prevent backflow of urine into them. The process of passing out urine is called micturition. The kidneys or nephrons perform many functions to maintain the internal environment constant, that is, homeostasis. These functions are excretion of nitrogenous waste products. The nitrogenous waste products, that is, urea, uric acid, are eliminated from the body in the form of urine by the kidneys or nephrons. Regulation of water balance. Kidneys or nephrons regulate the water balance in the body by regulating the amount of urine formation. If the water is in excess in the body, large amounts of dilute urine are produced. Whereas, during deficiency of water, hypotonic urine is produced. Regulation of acid-base balance. Kidneys or nephrons regulate the acid-base balance in the body. Elimination of other substances. Kidneys or nephrons also remove pigments, drugs, etc. from the body. Regulation of blood pressure. Kidneys regulate the arterial blood pressure by secreting a hormone, renin. By the elimination of nitrogenous waste products, excess of water, excess of salts, and other unwanted substances from the blood, the kidneys or nephrons maintain the volume, composition, pH, and osmotic pressure of the blood. In other words, it maintains fluid homeostasis in the body. Thus, the composition of body fluid is determined not by what we ingest, but what the kidneys or nephrons keep.